And of course, that is our cue to go into the newspaper review to look at the major stories on the front pages of the national dailies today. And with us in the studio to do justice to it is a social commentator, Chris Kende Nwandu. Good morning to you and thank you for joining us.
Good morning to be here once again.
Nice to see you.
Thank you very much.
All right, so let's start with the Punch newspaper. The major story, reps to Buhari order IG to enforce Benue anti-open grazing law. With a statement credited to a Benue representative in there, I have received about 700 calls since Monday alone. People are telling me that they are willing to defend themselves. I have to keep pleading with them. Now, the Inspector General of Police a few weeks back said that the government should provide grazing reserves first off before putting that law in place. Now, where do you draw the line between being partisan and then be on the fence and do what you're supposed to do as the chief driver of security in any country?
Thank you very much. The IG of Police has no say. He has no say. He's a law enforcement officer. And whatever law is passed, irrespective of how he feels, it is duty to make sure that those laws are obeyed. That is his spirit. That is his role. He should be a neutral person on issues like this. Yes,
this is where people are saying he's already taken sides.
He has already taken side and is biased. And I think the presidency should come out hard this time around. The IG cannot choose what law to obey. It is not within him. If the Benue State House of Assembly has passed a bill, a law to protect their state, it is within him to provide the enabling environment for such laws to be
don't you even think that the situation is already defective? I don't want to say sad, really. You know, waiting to this point for the rep members who are lawmakers to even urge or order the president to tell the president to order his own member of the executive to do what he's supposed to do. Is the president not the father of the nation? Isn't he supposed to know these things and then do the needful without being reminded or told in the first place?
Yes, I'm just waiting quietly to see what the president will do. He's going to Benue State. I want to see the statement he's going to make. I want to see what he's going to say because all eyes are on him now. Okay. Once again, the IG, as I said, the IG has no say in this matter. And he's no longer he's no longer a neutral person on this. He seems to have certain right. He has the right to say certain things and the rest of it. But he should know that when he's speaking as a representative of the president. And whenever he talks, it's the president that is talking because that is his boss. So he shouldn't be saying things that will escalate the situation. For example, about 24 people were killed just a few days ago. And they are going to be given mass burial. Over 70 we are giving mass burials some weeks back.
Indeed.
How long are we going to continue with this?
All right.
So let's just, okay, you have something
yeah, the point there is Benue people are really very dissatisfied by the lack of being proactive by the president. And like you said, they are waiting patiently to hear what the president is going to say.
Are waiting.
Exactly,
yes.
exactly. Waiting to see what he's going to do, waiting to hear what he's going to say as far as that is concerned.
Yes,
absolutely.
All eyes are on the president. I'm sure after play 2, I think the next place is going to is Benue. Let's see what he's going to say. That will be the defining moment on this issue. He went to Taraba. He made a categorical statement. He was in play 2. He made some categorical statements. I wasn't so much happy with what he said in Taraba, where he said there are more people killed in Taraba than Benue, irrespective of how many people were killed, even if it's just a single soul.
Exactly.
They are very, very important. Every soul is important. It shouldn't be compared. I don't know those that write the president's speeches or he speaks of course, but he shouldn't have made that statement. Human lives are human life. They cannot be quantified in terms of numbers. Irrespective of how many people, 70 people were given mass burial in Benue State. I don't know how many we are giving mass burial in Taraba. He shouldn't have said that. But I believe he will redeem this when he gets to
All right, well, we hope so. Let's go to another story here. Parents of abducted Dapchi schoolgirls protest in National Assembly, demand rescue. Of course, you can see the pictures here. Yes, a reminder that another set of girls taken away from us.
Yes, we are going the same way. Exactly a year before the 2015 election, we had the abduction of the Chibok girls. Exactly a year to the 2019 election, we have another abduction. That speaks volume on our security management. And I've always said this, the way we are going about issues of security, although everybody is now a security expert, into television, everybody is now a security expert, but the way we are going about our intelligence gathering is not solid. Okay, it's not the number of men you put on ground. Every intelligence across the world has gone digital. Okay, most of them are not. What we do is preemptive. They try to preempt crimes from happening. But it is the other way around in Nigeria. Crimes happen, I will not start running head-to-scatter on tribes. This could have been avoided.
Never proactive, always reactive.
Never proactive. If you see what happened, how the exchanges between the military and the police, so we handed over to you, we didn't hand over to you, you were there, we had those things would happen.
All right, let's quickly run through the remaining stories. Thanks for being a loyal partner, Buhari tells Osinbajo at 61. Happy birthday, Vice President. We won't spend money on Ajaokuta again, says FG. Senate probes alleged plot to sack Saraki, destabilize chamber. Appeal court reserves judgment in Kashamu's extradition case. UK to build prison wing in Kirikiri to transfer Nigerian prisoners. Down here, no decision yet on 2019. Our concern is restructuring. Ohaneze. Alpha jailed 6 years for defrauding promotion-seeking supervisor of 4.2 million naira rather. And then last one, President in Jos promises to end cycle of violence.
Okay, now let's go to the Nation newspaper. Our pains by 110 abducted Dapchi schoolgirls' parents. Aisha Buhari, free our girls. The Senate invites police chief. You talked about that. Defense to Nigerians ignore Ekweremadu's school comment. Now, when a highly placed political official who Nigerians feel should know better makes some kind of comment, who said the military cannot take over? When you make a statement like that, I wonder
where the DSP is getting his information from. But don't also forget his DSP, I think, is within the hierarchy rank. I think it's between the 5th and 6th within the hierarchy of leaders in the country. So he must have had some information at his disposal. But as I always say, it's not every information that we have that you put into the public view, because communication matters, goes a long way. It could shape people's opinion, it could give people's ideas and rest of them.
Some people.
And yes, it can also embolden some people and rest of them. So there are certain things, the list, irrespective of what our problems are presently, the best military administration is worse than the worst civilian. So we have our freedom. We will continue to manage this situation. The United States of America, that we all look up to as the clearing place of democracy, have been in this system for over 100 and close to 200 years. We've been staggering and staggering, just like the Fani Amu Junior Eagles, fumble and got to the finals. We'll continue fumbling until we get to the finals. But we are making progress. It might be slow, but we are getting there.
We're getting there.
Yes, you can see a lot of
democracy gradually.
What we had in 1999 is not the same thing we have now. Nigerians are more bold. They are now more enlightened than ever before.
And gradually believing in the system.
And also believing in the system.
All right,
we just have to make it work.
Even on that, we're glad the Defense Headquarters came out outrightly to say, no, Nigerians disregard that, don't take it seriously, which is good.
Which is good.
Then Buhari will end cycle of violence. That is a statement he made in Jos. We've talked about that. And the CCT awaits Supreme Court over Saraki. The case has been adjourned indefinitely. Then Buhari, Tinubu, others extol Osinbajo at 61. It was his birthday yesterday. Omeruo, Eagles will tame Lewandowski. And 6 soldiers, 4 policemen killed in Iran. And reps, okay, 2 billion naira for Ajaokuta, but the federal government is saying we will not spend public funds on Ajaokuta steel again. So far, $8 billion have gone down the drain.
I don't know the problem with Ajaokuta steel. That's supposed to be our alternative to oil. Sincerely, it's well managed, because if you know what Ajaokuta steel, if you know what steel companies do for other countries, you will see that if properly managed, it's a place I've been to several times. It's a place where I served. I know virtually everything about Ajaokuta and Itakpe mining. Is a gigantic project. What I think the mistake we made initially was when we brought in the Russians as co-partners at a point. What we could have done is the government should have just taken off hands of that project, go into kind of partnership with with those foreigners, then probably the 60-40 ratio and rest of them, by now would have gotten to it. But it will be difficult.
Okay.
I still believe it will be very difficult for the government to be able to do this alone. Steel industry is not what we call in local politics.
Yes.
It's not moi moi. It's not
Is it even good for the federal government to come out to say that we won't spend money alone? Yes, we understand, even though many don't, that government has no business in business. So
Definitely.
why don't you look at, like you said,
for
now,
the partners,
public-private sector
that is just
partnership instead,
I think they are.
and hands-off.
That is what they say they're looking into now. But the point there is, I wonder how exactly.
It's been taking too long.
Why should it take so long? The point
long.
there is, the Russians that built it, there are still so many Russian companies in that regard. There are German companies, there are even South African companies if you want to do the African Brotherhood stuff. There are Chinese companies, there are American companies, there are, and so on. I wonder why it takes so long.
I don't know why
and when you talk about diversifying the economy, like you said, besides oil, this is another gold mine.
This is a very big gold mine, because if you know the positive impact such could make in the economy. Most of the iron rods and the rest of them we use in the country presently is coming from abroad. We're importing.
And many of them
you know the number of houses we are building.
We're building every day. We're growing.
That is even there are other levels of the steel industry that we're not even tapping. I think the minister in charge of that should be able to do something about this. If that is the only thing he can achieve as a minister, I think that should we should concentrate on that.
I think it's beyond the powers of the minister to, especially when the House of Rep is even passing
no,
vote
but
of
the
no
minister
confidence.
himself have been called, was invited. He saw that they passed.
He didn't go there.
Remember, they just passed a vote of no confidence on him. They invited him with the Minister of State, and he didn't show up. So I think it's
actually, he gave them a notice, just very few days or hours to
if he was not going to make it, his
he
Minister of
should have
State
told
should be able
them
to
all
do
the
it.
way. Absolutely. Okay, so yes, we go to the Daily Sun. Major story: we are committed to democracy. Military. Senate summons Army Chief IGP over the. We already talked about that. The talk of coup and all that. So that aside. 6 soldiers, 4 policemen killed in Iran attack. That's according to the Commissioner of Police. Very sad indeed. Senate probes Adamu over alleged plot to sack Saraki Ekweremadu. Not after his seat. Ex-Nasarawa governor is getting interesting in the Senate. They were denying, and then there was no denial, and then we are here again. I have not been officially notified of Buhari's visit to Rivers. That's according to the governor.
Yes, I heard him saying that the president is coming to Rivers. I don't even know what he's coming to do. That's a very big one.
It is.
If the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is coming to your state and as a sitting governor, you say you don't know what he's coming to do, that is, I think we shouldn't be playing politics with this. I personally don't think that we should be playing politics with this. President Buhari is the president of Nigeria, irrespective of your political leaning or whatever. If he's coming, it is your duty to be able to make sure that he's comfortable.
Well, he said he wasn't officially notified, regardless of your position, no matter how highly ranked you are. You're not supposed to defer if you're going to another person's place.
That's what I'm saying.
Because he's saying I'm not officially notified.
That's where I'm going to. I say the president is the president of Nigeria, irrespective of his political leaning. So I expect, I'm actually talking about the presidency. Okay. I believe and I know and I should believe that the president ought to have informed the governor of Rivers State. For whatever you think, who is going to receive the president at the Port Harcourt International Airport? Definitely it has to be the governor of the state with other state governors. So if the governor says he is not aware, or he must have been reading in pages of newspapers about the president's visit, that is unfortunate. That is very, very unfortunate.
Well, but on the other hand, too, there are procedures for this thing, and there's no way at the end of the day that the president is going to visit a state and the governors will not be told and all the security apparatus will not be ready and all of that. So on the other hand, one would say, well, I think it's a little premature for the governor of Rivers State to make that statement.
Yes, it is. If he has any view, any reservation, he knows the right channel to pass it through. He should pass it through the president. President is coming here. What is he coming to do? What are the itineraries? What am I supposed to do? And the rest of that. He's not supposed to be telling us.
Is that not what he's saying?
No. He doesn't have to come to the front pages of
exactly. That's what we're saying.
He has a channel.
There are channels of communication.
And
maybe
he has a direct level
whether you are a member of the opposition or not, you have access to the president. You can see and meet the president anytime as a governor.
Maybe he's using the channel that he had the story from. So it's just, you understand, since he got notification via the public space.
Who have decided to just throw it to okay, let me go to the front page, I'll go to Nigeria. Okay. That's politics for you. That's Nigeria for you.
Absolutely. I think that's about, yes, those are the stories. Okay, Governor Mahi orders the arrest of Deputy Chief of Staff, other appointees.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. This day newspaper, we have a bold picture of the Vice President from his birthday yesterday, and it was quite interesting that it fell on the International Women's Day, so he decided to spend the time with the women.
Absolutely.
Okay, we have fresh crisis looms as APC NEC plans to amend party's constitution. Stakeholders warn against illegal amendment, demand conduct of national convention, congresses, Lagos chapter ready to challenge move in court. There seems to be new crisis looming in APC.
We knew this was going to happen because the decision taken for the extension of the chairman, I know didn't go down with certain people, and they said they were not fully consulted. And if you are preaching democracy, it should be an open field. People should be allowed to participate in congresses and the rest of them. And I know what APC is trying to do. They are trying to manage their crisis because they know going into an election year, if they go into congresses now, there's going to be a problem. A lot of new people will be coming up. There'll be challenges in court and the rest of them. But I don't think that. Yes, that is where I'm going to. It's more dangerous because the PDP tried that in 2014 and had their hands burnt. So they shouldn't think that it's Eldorado because they're in government and they can just go in. APC should be able to, people that dissenting voice, Lagos for one. You cannot wish Lagos away like that when it comes to APC.
And Lagos APC has said that.
And Lagos APC have said that, no, we are not there. And apart from that, I was always saying that they should have even allowed the chairman of the Reconciliation Committee to finish his work. Okay, try to reconcile all those that need to be reconciled before you now talk about issue of, but they've not, they jumped the gun.
Because the letter, he was forced to write a public letter.
That is what I'm saying. The man has not even been given the opportunity to do what he's supposed to do. By doing this, you also look at what is happening in Kaduna already. The governor with senators and the rest of them. It's happening in Adamawa, it's happening in Kano and the rest of them. And you want to go into an election, you're divided, it will be
it'll be difficult. All right. Abdullahi Adamu for probe over alleged plots to destabilize Senate and oust Saraki. Senator denies allegation, says Senate President is like a son to him. A CCT adjourns Saraki's trial indefinitely. A National Assembly harmonized PIG bill will be ready for Buhari's assent in March. And then we have another interesting one here. Again, U.S. Secretary Tillerson warns Nigeria, other African countries against Chinese loans.
Yeah,
one would say, what do you expect?
Exactly.
If are they going to give us what China is giving us? China, without any gainsaying. I watched last night the president of United States of America, Donald Trump, talking about imbalances in terms of trade with China. I'll say that he's going to raise the tariff. He's going to raise tariff, import tariff. And when you export something, they export something from US to China, they are charged about 25% taxes, level of taxes. And but when goods coming from China to US, it's 2.5%. So, and he himself also said that the United States is indebted to China to about $500 billion and the rest of them. China is a big market.
It is.
Can okay,
my brother, you see somebody that is coming and say, bros, just I beg, take this 2,000 and take manage for pocket. You say you won't collect. These are what China is doing is, yes, although some people look at it as indirect rule, but Africa, as well,
it's capitalized on the vacuum left by America.
The Western world, they're capitalizing on the vacuum that the Western world, that they practically withdrew their assistance to Africa. They say that, no, Africa is full of corruption, Africa is this. Go and see Nigeria alone, go and see the level of commitment of the China. Go to the international airport in Abuja and see what they are doing there. And go to other parts of Africa and see what they are doing. And these are just free money and they think that they can be able to assist Africa in the. And you say we shouldn't take, bros, we go take them. We go take them.
Chris Mandu, thank you so much for coming on the program.
All right, no, we have to pick it
up. Okay, we still have another one.
Yeah, the Vanguard newspaper. Major story, trade unions have done Nigeria more harm than good. That's according to Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai, with multiple riders, adds past Yobe Borno governors sowed seed of terrorism. Our federal health institutions overstaffed. That's according to the federal government. You are embarrassment to public office, Labour tells El-Rufai. El-Rufai doesn't keep quiet.
Governor Rufai, three
He's
times
a
I call
bold
you.
man.
Yes, there will be some. I can see reason with some of these statements, sentiments, and which is true. Of late, our labours have not been living up to expectation. It has become a chop and chop kind of labour. The labour movement we had in the past, the labour movement of Sumonu, the Sumonus, and the likes, even up to the time of a little the point of Adams Oshomole, it's not the same, you know, until he went into politics and started politicizing NLC and the rest of them.
Few years before he
went into politics. That is, but now you can see that the kind of labour union we have now is not the type of leadership. Even at that, the problem even with them is that they are divided. You know, we have two NLCs presently. That is the problem. So it has become they are not united in getting their voices heard. In those days, when you say there's an increase in pump prices, and NLC comes out and say, we will not take this. We've given you 7 days to, bros, you just have to take it. Or else there'll be a problem. Okay, I'm not the type of person that's agree to using strike as a format, but at times it has to work. When last did we go on a national strike over any issue in Nigeria? I don't think we've had anything like that in the past 3, 4 years or 5 years. Okay, and apart from that, now they cannot fight for the right of their members. Go to the same Governor Rufai. Over how many teachers were sacked? What is labor in Kaduna State?
After failing tests, really.
Well, call it. Somebody was even saying that now that Liberia is looking for teachers, they should come
Liberia is looking for 6,000. 21,000 were laid off from Kaduna, so we just ship them there.
No, don't do that to another country.
I think the labor union should be just united and get their ass together.
Okay, tension in Imo as APC vows to stop Okorocha's son-in-law. Recall that the governor said he could endorse him for
my governor, I'm from Imo State. My governor said that nobody can stop him from installing his son-in-law. And that was an ambiguous statement. God can stop you. The people can stop you. If the people decide that we don't want your son-in-law, they will vote and they will not be elected. I think democracy should be allowed to prevail. And people's opinions should be allowed.
And talking about, the governor made a statement about his son-in-law's governorship ambition even before the son-in-law himself.
That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. So he's not even his son-in-law, the man is the one pushing. But I said, if the people of Imo State think that he is worthy of it, they will let him. But if they think he's not worthy, they will use that thing. So there have been crises. There have been crises, even between him and his deputy governor. There's so much crisis, so much tension. And to even think of it, the clergy has come into it, the church has come into it, and already there have been division. And another thing is that presently the governor is from a senatorial district. Okay. The son-in-law is also from that senatorial district. So that is why the problem is coming. So even if they want him, he said there's no power shift. But if power has to shift from one senatorial district to another. So, but let's see how this pans out. I wish him well.
Air passenger traffic down 8% in 2017. That's according to the National Bureau of Statistics.
That's it. Well, most of the time, I take this statistic with a pinch of salt because the way we run our statistics in this country, people tell you that things are improving or the level of arrest, and people cannot feel the impact of such on their table, if you understand what I'm trying to say. So I take most of these statistics until Nigerians continue to feel the impact of these statistics. If life is improving and the rest of them, people still...
But the NBS has been up and being more responsive to societal issues than it used to be so many years ago.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I say most of the statistics, yes, it should be cheering. You don't forget, Even some few weeks back, some international organization came up with certain statistics on some. Those are very verifiable statistics. Most of them are not. It's just like taxation in Nigeria. When you talk about tax, people are just say, please, 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 please. Okay. We need to see the...
Many people do not travel by air.
Exactly.
Okay, let's just quickly run through the main stories. Be wary of loans from China. U.S. warns Nigeria, others. At 61, I am gradually becoming senior citizen. That's according to Vice President Osinbajo. My priority is to secure Nigeria, fight corruption. President Muhammadu Buhari and UK to build £700,000 prison in Lagos.
Wow.
Chris Kende Wandu.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Right.